Connections are good. We are live. That can only mean one thing. It's Crucible TV time. 1 o'clock on a Friday. You know we're always bringing the fire, the heat, the energy. We're just bringing it to you today.
Bringing the juice. We are bringing the juice today, guys.
Bringing the juice.
On a rainy Friday. We bringing the sunshine. Let's go.
There we go. We bringing the heat. You know that. We're going to turn all this drizzling rain into some steam. We're going to heat it up to 212. So here we go. We're going to jump right into it. Maldonado, what is happening? Kelsey, we see you hopping in. Good to see you. Love seeing you guys. So if you missed last week, we started a new series, which we're calling our Flip It and Reverse It series. Shout out, Missy Elliott. Let's go. Okay, it's our Flip It and Reverse It series where we are bringing you all of the ways to not accomplish your goals. All the ways of...
Basically, we're setting you up for failure here.
We're setting you up for failure. We're setting you up for failure. And you might be like, Ryan, why in the world are you doing that? Well, it's actually a technique where our bodies, our minds are very good at finding issues. They're very good at finding problems. They're very good at finding reasons of why we can't do things, threats, all of those things. So if it's good at finding the negative, we're going to say, let's use that. Let's use all the things. Let's find the negatives. And if we know that these are all the ways to guarantee my failure, well, then how do we not guarantee success, but make sure that I have a good chance for success? Well, we're just going to do the opposite. So that is why we're calling it the Flip It and Reverse It. We're going to find all the ways to not do something, flip it and reverse it, and then that's going to be your game plan, your path for making sure that you can have the best chance at doing something great. Stacey Main hopping in. I see ya.
So basically what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to tell you, hey, this is what's going to lead to failure. And now let's focus on doing the exact opposite thing.
That's exactly it. So what we're talking about today, we are making sure that you are 100% guaranteed to not make the team. I know you've got all these teams. You got these summer teams. We got these travel teams. We got the high school teams. We got all of these things that we want to make, but we're going to guarantee that you don't make it. We want to make sure that you don't make the team. So here we go. Number one way to guarantee that you don't make the team, is we're going to have you think about all the reasons why you could fail. We want you focusing on all the reasons why you could fail or not make the team. You know, I'm not big enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm too small. I'm all of these things.
Not fast enough.
We're focused on all the negatives, right? So if you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, find all the reasons why you could fail. Okay? Flip it. Of course, we don't want to do that, right? We want to be focusing on the positive things. We want to find all those competitive edges. We want to make sure
we want to focus on what it takes to make the team.
Yeah, focus on what it takes. And just because we might be smaller, we might be not as fast, we might not have the competitive edges that we're thinking about, right? Or we're wanting to have. We want to be resilient and relentless about finding the things that we can be good at, that we can make an impact on. Not all of our shortcomings. Yeah, that's exactly it, Kelsey. Stop being negative. Don't think negative. If we think negative, hey, how effective is negative thinking, Jesse?
Guys, negative thoughts, they are destructive. They are 4 to 7 times more powerful than any other thought. And then when you speak them out loud, they become 10 times more powerful. So if a verbalized negative thought is 40 to 70 times more powerful. If you go with the mindset and verbalize, I'm not going to make the team, you will not make the team.
So there we go. So if you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, make sure you're verbalizing all of the negative things going on. But if you do want to make it, let's start focusing on those positive things.
Focus on what it takes to make the team.
There we go. Number two, make sure, this is a big one now. Moms and dads, if you're watching this one might hurt a little bit. Coming at you a little bit on this one. But if you want to make sure that your kid does not make the team, or kids, if you want to make sure that you don't make the team, have your parents make sure that they're the only ones that go and talk to the coach. Make sure that you never, as an athlete, go talk to the coach. Make sure that your parents are constantly calling on the coach, demanding more playing time. Make sure your parents are the ones asking how you can get better. Make sure your parents are the ones doing all the communication on your behalf. If you want to make sure that you don't make the team, make sure that your parents do it all for you. Of course not. That's of course not what we want to have. As a coach, I want to make sure that my athletes are self-sufficient, that they have the confidence, and we want to build the confidence in them to speak up for themselves, to learn how to go up to a coach and approach a coach and say, hey coach, I'm not getting the playing time that I want, but how can I get better? What do I gotta do to earn more time? Not just give me more time because I'm paying money or whatever. No, how do I earn more time? That's the bigger lesson that we're really trying to learn here, right? But parents, if we're the ones taking that opportunity away from our kids, we're handcuffing our kids. We're not teaching them the lessons that we want them to learn. And I guarantee that a coach is going to look at that and say, oh, it's one of these kids whose parents are constantly calling. Do I want to deal with that all season? Whether it's right or wrong, that does come into play when they're making cuts, making selections for a team. If you've got two kids and they're about equal, one has a parent that's going to constantly be nagging, another one's going to let the kid do it, guess what? They're going to let the kid go, right? They're going to let the kid who's taking accountability make the team. I just want to make sure that you know that. So if you want to guarantee that your kid does not make the team, make sure that you're pestering the coach as much as possible.
And I think a lot of it too is this is a critical time. You know, a lot of times kids are playing sports because they love playing the sport, but also they're trying to learn how to be a leader.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to learn how to make great decisions, and that's part of them. Making that great decision is a tough decision. Great decisions are tough decisions a lot of times, and sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating going up to the coach and be like, hey coach, what do I need to do to get more playing time? But them doing that is going to put them in a better position to succeed, not only on that team, but in the long run, than saying, all right, Johnny, I'm going to go speak to coach, or here, I wrote the coach a note. You know what I mean? So
I'll take care of it. That's not what we want to teach them.
It's putting them in the best position to succeed, not only during the season, but long term.
There we go. Number three. If you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, always show up on time, never early. Don't show up a second early. If they say 1 o'clock, be there at 1.
And one more thing, make sure that you're the first one to leave too.
Always make sure you're the first one to leave. As soon as practice is done, get out of there. Make sure that you're not sticking around looking for anything extra to do. Can't be doing that, right? Of course not. We kind of laugh at this. What do they say? Who? Vince Lombardi time, right? What's
Lombardi time?
Go ahead, hit him with it.
If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're embarrassed. You ever say you got to show up 15 minutes early? That's Lombardi time.
15 minutes early is on time. Make sure you're doing the little things to stand out. If you want to make a good impact, make sure you're there. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're showing up early, right? That shows that you want to be there. If you're not wanting to do something, what are you going to do? You're going to show up as late as possible. That dentist appointment for that cavity, you don't show up 20 minutes early excited about it. No, you kind of slink in there like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm going to show up at the last possible second. We don't want to show the coach that we just barely made it there. We want to show that we're ready, we're excited, we're wanting to be there. I'll even be there early. But if you want to make sure that you don't make the team, show up on time, never early, and leave as quickly as possible.
Man, that's some good stuff right there. Man, that was a big one for me when I played. I loved, and Brian knows this too when he actually was working with the Mount team. I really believed in it. The first one there and the last one to leave, know, and that's something I still try to really live by. So that's
number four. Make sure at practice that your body language is terrible, that you're always complaining about how boring this is, and just completely show your utter disdain for more batting practice, more conditioning.
Can I give an example of that?
You want an example?
I'm tired.
Yes.
My tummy hurts. Does this practice have to go so long?
Yep.
Coach, why are we doing so much running?
Yep. I'm going to clip that. That's going to be on Instagram later today. That is perfect. please do that. If you want to guarantee, Jesse's kicking stuff now.
Because I'm tired.
Okay?
It's raining outside.
Make as many excuses, complain as much as possible if you don't want to make the team. Of course not, guys. If you want to make the team, we want to show that we want to be there. We're excited. No matter what's coming our way, we want to be excited. We want to show the coach, hey, I'm here in it with you. Whether it's conditioning, whether it's fielding, whether it's drill work, whatever it is, whether it's film sessions, I'm here, I'm in it, I'm ready to go. So make sure that if you don't want to make the team, bad body language can be seen by everybody. You want to know something? Here's a crazy one. Gino Auriemma, head UConn women's coach. He will bench girls, he will sit girls, I don't want to say he'll cut girls, but he'll bench girls for bad body language. That's it. Walking onto the court, he'll have them not even practice. If they walk out to the court with bad body language, he said, I'll have them go back to the locker room and go home. I don't have a use for them if they've got bad body language. How many times have we had bad body language? Think about that. And this is a guy who's won championship after championship after championship, right? Body language says a lot. It says about the mindset. Kelsey likes your example. Yeah. She likes that one. Boom. So number 5, we're coming up on halfway. We're going to speed through the rest of these because we don't want to hold you up too much. Number 5, make sure if you don't want to make the team, don't prepare. Don't prepare. Make sure.
Train.
No. Go ahead. Hit him.
Train.
Hit him.
Don't strength train. Don't condition. If you don't want to make the team, don't train at all. Don't strength train. Don't go to Crucible if you don't. No, serious. If you don't want to make the team, don't train. Don't prepare.
Don't prepare mentally.
Yeah.
Don't prepare physically. Don't prepare emotionally.
Don't study your playbook.
Don't study the playbook. Just show up and let it flow, right? Of course not. If we have a big goal, the more preparation. Talk to me about Abe Lincoln. Talk to me.
My man Abe Lincoln, one of my favorite quotes, he said, if you give him 6 hours to chop down a tree, he's spending 4 to 5 hours sharpening his axe, 1 to 2 hours chopping. So most of that time of that 6 hours, almost all of it, he's preparing his axe. Preparing his axe.
Prepare that axe. Get out there. Go get your drills in. Get your reps in. You don't feel like it? That's okay. Somebody else will do it, and they can make the team. So there we go. Number 6. If you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, make sure that you're always talking badly about old coaches. Make sure you're always talking badly and saying how unfair it was and how it's not your fault. One of the number 1 red flags, if it's never your fault, if it's always somebody else's fault, guess what? The next coach is going to look at that a little bit cautiously and say, well, if they don't get the results that they want, guess what? Probably going to be my fault, right? They're not going to want to deal with that. They want kids that are bought in. They want parents. They want families that are always saying, how can I get better? What is it that I can take accountability of? What is it that I can take ownership of to get better? If it's always the coach's fault, if it's always the trainer's fault, if it was always the whomever's fault, well, guess what? That's probably going to be the trend that we see during season. We want to see accountability. We want to see action taken. We want to see an urgency and a relentless nature of saying, how can I get better? If we avoid the accountability, I think we talked about that last week, the ownership, the accountability, a coach is going to look at that and say, well, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
And we talk about flipping and reverse it. Most of the time, coaches, they love to see athletes own it. Mm-hmm. They love to see them own it. And think about it. Imagine one time guys, whether you play sport, whether in life, you're gonna make mistakes sometimes. Mm-hmm. And what if you just said, man, coach, I messed up there. I made a mistake. I'm owning it.
Yep.
What do you think your coach is gonna say to you? He's not gonna hammer you. Or if he shouldn't, what I mean? So that's a big piece of it is if it's a good coach and he sees you own it, he's going to be like, all right, that's awesome. Let's work with this.
There we go. All right, speeding into the end. Number 7, never hustle, no sense of urgency. If you don't want to make the team, make sure you're always walking everywhere. Make sure that there is no urgency of getting anywhere. If coach says, hey, let's head over here, we got this drill, make sure you walk. Make sure you take your time, and it's always on your time, not anybody else's. Your time clock. Of course not. Show, again, so much of this goes back into that body language. It goes back into that idea of, I want to be here. Body language does a lot. If you're an athlete walking around with the shoulders slumped over, head down, that shows I don't want to be here. If we're sloughing our feet around, that shows I don't want to be here. Versus having a little hop in your step, a pep in your step, and saying, hey, I'm going to be the first one there. We're going to make sure it happens. I'm the first one up for a drill. I'm ready for the sprint. I'm ready for whatever it is. Have a little bit of urgency. Josh, I see what's happening. Number 8, make sure that you are only doing what is expected of you. Make sure you only do what is expected, not anything extra ever. Well, of course not. If you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, only do what is expected. We talk about that all the time. MTE, meet the expectation or more than expected. Which MTE is going to make the team? If you want to guarantee that you have a good shot of not making the team, only do what is expected. If you want to have a chance of starting, if you want to have a chance to guarantee yourself the best possible chance of making the team, the skills are there, all that, do more than expected. Ask for more reps. Serve a little bit more. Make sure that you're out there getting extra reps for everybody else. Find ways to get better.
And I think that one's awesome too, because a lot of times, that's not only going to, more than expected, it's not only going to catch the coach's eye, it's going to catch your teammates' eyes too. And coaches are looking for somebody who's going to be a leader by example and not just get better, but make others better around them. That's contagious.
That's contagious. And there we go. And that leads us right into number 9. If you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, if you want to guarantee that you have a tough shot at making the team, make sure you only worry about yourself, never anybody else. If you want to guarantee that you don't have a good shot, make sure you take care of yourself first and don't forget about everybody else. Well, of course not. We also understand that culture is such a big thing. Team culture is such a big thing. And we don't want a bunch of guys, gals running around focused only on themselves. If you want to make sure that you don't make the team, focus only on you. You want to give yourself the best possible chance to make whatever team you're going on. Make sure you are a servant leader. He talked about leadership. Make sure you are a servant leader. Always look to serve others first. Always look to make your teammates better. Always look for ways that you can help them improve and lift everybody else up. That's the kind of athlete I want on my team. That's the kind of guy that Jesse is on our team here at Crucible. Always looking to serve other people first. If you want to make sure that you don't make the team, or that coach kind of maybe puts a little asterisk next to your name of like, ooh, let me watch out, a red flag, only caring about yourself. Make sure you care about only yourself if you don't want to have any extra chance of making that team. And then number 10, I'm going to let you take this one, Coach Jesse.
Stay in your comfort zone. Stay in your comfort zone. If you want to guarantee that you don't make the team, just stay in your comfort zone.
Well, what happens if...
don't put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Oh, like I look at rugby, right? Oh, you're doing tackling drills. Oh, and you're going against the hardest runner on the team. Oh, I'm gonna just sneak in the back of the line. Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, you go. You go.
Got it. You go. Oh, there's the little guy who I know I can run over in the tackle drill. I got it. I'm big man. People can see that. People know that too. And the truth is, the way you train translates to the way that you play. And if you're gonna win, there's gonna be opportunities where you have to get outside your comfort zone in any sport or in anything. And the best way to get better at getting outside of your comfort zone is to train getting outside of your comfort zone. And good coaches see that.
That's right.
So yeah, if you want to guarantee that you make the team, don't be afraid to step outside that comfort zone and challenge yourself and push yourself, because that's where you're going to, at the end of the day, that's where you're going to grow and get better.
Absolutely. That is when we grow. That is the Cherish the Challenge lifestyle that we talk about and we talk about living by. So there you go. That is our top 10 ways to make sure that you don't make the team. So again, flip it and reverse it. That should be a nice little game plan for you. If you're saying, hey, where is it that I can improve and give myself the best chance to make the team? Go through that list. How many of those things are you currently doing? Are there areas in that where you say, ooh, actually, that is what I do? You might be giving yourself a little red flag there. But again, flip it and reverse it, and you now have the perfect game plan to say, hey, this is what it's going to take for me to give myself the best chance. Again, making sure that your skills and all of those other things are there. But guys, we love you. Make sure you tune in next Friday at 1 o'clock. We're going to be in this same series. We're going to be talking about, well, I'm going to keep it a secret because I want the suspense to be there. So make sure you tune in. If you're just catching this for the first time, we got all our old episodes on YouTube. Make sure to check it out on YouTube. That's going to be up there and ready to rock. Watch the series. Share with anybody you know. So, guys, we love you. Have an amazing day. God bless y'all. We'll catch y'all next time.